What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the Passive Income Network, where we talk about building and creating portfolios that produce passive income. We like to buy assets, invest in assets that produce passive income. So over the last 5 years, that's what I mostly focused on this channel. We definitely go deeper into the cryptocurrency aspect of passive income and investing and understanding blockchain technology. And on occasion, we sprinkle in some equities, some stocks, some ETFs. And on today's video, we're going to be talking about passive income strategy Hedera, Algorand, and Stellar XLM investors should know. So this is about a passive income strategy. And this is going to be good, y'all. This is going to be really good for someone building out a cryptocurrency portfolio and someone who wants to create passive income. Someone wants to get some money come into their wallets, into their accounts every day, every week, and every single month. And that's what we're focused on today's video. So again, as y'all join this stream, make sure you like this video, hype it up, share it with a friend, okay? And leave a comment in the chat. Tell me where you're coming from. Put any tickers you would love for me to check out or any other comments. Make sure you make a post right there in the chat. So without further ado, we're going to start off with the overall crypto landscape and talk about that. And then we'll go into some passive income platforms and strategies I like to use. And then I'm going to hit you with a banger that every crypto investor should have in their portfolio. So let's get to it. So we'll start this one off with the Fear and Greed Index. It is at 36, okay? The Fear and Greed Index is at 36. And last week, the Fear and Greed Index was at 21, and at Extreme Fear last month sitting at 12. So we like to buy here when it's at extreme fear. That means cryptocurrencies are very oversold. People have panic sold, and it's a high possibility that we're reaching a bottom when it's in extreme fear. Then when we get to this level of fear where we're at right now, coming out of extreme fear, that's a good sign, y'all. That is a very good sign. And once we hit neutral, we're in a position that we have now got out of the fear, especially with all the stuff going on in the global world with geopolitics, rising oil prices and whatnot, rising prices, tariffs. It is good to see us move away from extreme fear, go to fear. That means people have been buying the dip, y'all. They've been buying the dip. Okay, so that's what we got here, 36 on the Fear and Greed Index. And then, as I showed you guys before, the average crypto RSI is at the 56. So it has also moved away from oversold. And on average, it is closer to a nice range of 56. Once it gets into the 70s, that's when you should definitely consider, if you bought low, to maybe take some profit off of the table. Okay, so that's what we got there. And that's a good thing. So if we go look at some of the crypto prices, cryptocurrency as a whole is still sitting under $2.4 trillion in market cap, with a volume of about 75 billion for the on average for the last 30 days. We want to see crypto flip above 2.5 billion, which means there's a lot of money flowing into the markets. So we got Bitcoin sitting at roughly 73,000, Ethereum at 2,200 roughly, BNB $675, XRP at $1.44, Solana at $92. That's what I got for y'all in terms of the crypto prices. Now let's get into the passive income strategy Hedera, Algorand, XLM holders should know. We're going to start this one off with one of my favorite platforms. And before I drop the real gems on you, is right here. We covered this one last week. So this is Aerodrome in the Base ecosystem. If you know about the Base ecosystem, type BASE in the chat, BASE in the chat if you know about Base. So in the Base ecosystem, there's liquidity pools. And for example, one of my favorite is the Wrapped ETH USDC liquidity pool with a volume of 55,000 today, collecting fees with a fee APR of 3.9 and the emissions APR of 7.6. So you can earn a nice 7.6 yield very easily, plus some fee APR there by having a liquidity pool where you hold Ethereum and you pair it with USDC. And if you want to learn more deeply about this strategy, go check out one of my last live streams for a few days ago, where we talk about this strategy here in more depth. And then we have one of my favorite right here. Let me go back to the dashboard. This pool I showed you guys last week in great detail is the USDC Arrow, okay? And this here, it comes with a APR of 14%. So Aerodrome paired with USDC is producing 14%. And as you can see, I have 80 Arrow here of emissions, currently worth $27. Arrow sitting at about 33 cents. If it goes anywhere near its all-time high around the $2 range, that is looking pretty good for an easy passive income play. Okay, that's Aerodrome, you guys. The next one we have is Saucer Swap. This is for the Hedera ecosystem. And the pool that I have pulled up is USDC H bar. That is pairing USDC, the dollar stablecoin, with H bar at 50-50. Let's say $100 of USDC paired with $100 of H bar, put that in a liquidity pool, and then you will earn 10% APR paid out in Hedera tokens. That's a nice passive income play, as I told you, especially at a position in crypto where we're moving out of fear. We're in a sideways ranging type market. So this is one of my favorite platforms here. And Hedera is a great cryptocurrency to be paying attention to. I cover Hedera a lot on this channel. And then the third one up here is in the Algorand ecosystem. This goes by the name of Pact. This platform is called Pact. Been using this for years. Bullish. Let's go. Bullish. Yes, this live stream here is also very bullish for passive income investors. We want to put you on some game in terms of passive income. That's what I like the most. Okay, so this is the Algorand platform I like to use, and this is Pact. So we'll go over there to farms, go to overview, and after you have already got an LP by adding liquidity, as I told you, if you type in 100, let's go type in here. Let's type in 100 USDC. Okay, I'm hitting the wrong button. Let me move my keyboard in a better position. So let's type in 100 here. So 100 USDC to add in liquidity, you would need 1,000 and roughly 83 Algorand to add in the liquidity pool. So that's pretty close to $200. And then you would add that into Algo USDC, and then that turns into the Algo plus USDC. And after you pay some fees there, you can then take that liquidity pool token, the LP, and stake it here into the Algo USDC pool. And if you click farm details, you can easily earn you 12%. Now tell me, is that bullish? Type bullish in the chat if that is bullish. So that's what we got there. And those are my top 3 pools that I like to use most when it comes to cryptocurrency. Now, I have a gem for y'all that many of you do not know about, and I'm going to expose that gem today. I have been building a position in this gem I'm going to show you. And this is not financial advice. I want you to do your own research before you make any moves, whether it is the liquidity pools, the DeFi, the decentralized finance platforms I just showed you, which is Saucer Swap in the Hedera ecosystem. I showed you Aerodrome in the base ecosystem, and I showed you Pact, that platform Pact in the Algorand ecosystem. And that's where I like to earn passive income from, building out positions. Now, this one here, this is in the equities market. This is actually an ETF This is the NEOS Bitcoin high income ETF. That's what this is. If you never heard of it, I'm gonna play this video so you can get an understanding of what these type of ETFs are. Check this out.
Fixed income has long been a core component of a diversified investment portfolio, aiming to deliver steady monthly income with mitigated risk. But in today's volatile markets and overall economic climate, these benefits may not be packing the punch that they used to. Think of it as a reliable car that used to get 400 miles to the tank, but now, after some time, has dwindled down to 300. NEOS's enhanced income ETFs seek to reinvigorate traditional fixed income by layering on data-driven, options-based strategies that have the potential to deliver higher yield while maintaining similar risk compared to the underlying fixed income exposure. NEOS is taking that old reliable car and boosting its performance by installing a highly advanced hybrid battery, introducing innovation that we believe can enhance monthly income generation while letting investors keep more of it through a highly tax-efficient structure. We achieve enhanced income through a put spread strategy. Here's how it works. First, a short put is sold close to the strike price to generate the option premium for NEOS. That premium is used in two ways. The first portion of the premium is used to buy an out-of-the-money put that serves as a hedge against downturns in the market. The remaining portion of the option premium is issued directly to our investors as income. Tax efficiency is delivered via an ETF wrapper and index options, which are taxed at a lower rate than conventional fixed income. The end result? An investment that seeks to provide enhanced monthly income may be less sensitive to credit and duration risk while providing core fixed income exposure. NEOS offers two fixed income ETFs, our Enhanced Income Aggregate Bond ETF, which offers exposure to the U.S. aggregate bond market, as well as our NEOS Enhanced Income 1 to 3 month T-bill ETF, which offers exposure to short-term treasury bills. Evolve your fixed income investment strategy with NEOS Enhanced Income ETFs. NEOS, Next Evolution Option Strategies. For more information, visit.
So that's it right there. This is the NEOS funds. This is the gem. So let's talk about that video a little bit. These next evolution option strategies, essentially the BTCI, that's the ticker, BTCI. So what we have is a fund that buys Bitcoin, just like iBit. It has a stack of Bitcoin. Then it runs option strategies against it, calls and puts. And if you're doing a covered call, you receive premiums from traders who are trading it. That's essentially how it builds out. It doesn't run an option play on the whole fund. It runs it on the partial of the fund with active management. And then it also has US Treasuries there that it holds. So this fund pays out income every single month. It's a monthly dividend paying ETF. So that's what's powerful about that. So if you're running a passive income crypto strategy using some of those platforms I showed you in the DeFi ecosystem, that is great. You now have one in traditional finance that is even more simplified, where you can easily go to your Robinhood. You can go to Schwab. That's the platform that I use to hold my stocks and my ETFs. You purchase some shares of the NEOS Bitcoin IBT or BTCI, okay? And then you receive income every single month. That's what's powerful about it. So if we go look at their platform, about their page about this one, it's called the NEOS Bitcoin High Income ETF. So this is you getting exposure to crypto and receiving passive income on it. So you have a monthly distribution frequency, a 0.98% management fee. And mind you, this management fee is higher than, let's say, a VOO, which is the S&P 500. It's higher than some of the others because of what they're doing. So pay attention, do some more research on management fees so that you're aware. Essentially, this fee is higher than normal. Then you have a distribution rate of 28%. 28%. So imagine getting 28% on your money in passive income. That's what this is right here. And so when you look at it, the annual rate an investor would receive if the most recent fund distribution remained the same going forward. The distribution rate represents a single distribution from the fund and is not representative of the fund's total return. It's not total, that's just what you receive. The distribution rate is calculated by multiplying the most recent distribution by 12 in order to annualize it, then dividing by the fund's most recent X date NAV. So that's what you got there. And that's amazing. You know, again, those crypto plays I showed you are giving you 10%, 12, 15%. This way to invest with the Bitcoin, BTCI gives you 28% right now. And usually it sits at about 35%. So the fund seeks to distribute monthly income generated from writing call options on Bitcoin futures ETFs. Number two, actively managed by NEOS, the fund seeks to offer upside potential via efficient exposure to Bitcoin exchange traded products. Number three, this is about the strategy. The fund implements a data-driven call option strategy, saving investors the time and potential expenses of trading options themselves. So that's the key. More fun details here. Almost $1 billion in this fund, 969 million, 28 million outstanding shares, and its underlying exposure is to a Bitcoin traded fund. So if y'all want more information, definitely go check this out. I'm building a position here and I really enjoying it. And what I like about this here is the tax treatment. Okay. So this is good too, especially during tax season. So here we go. The NEOS Bitcoin High Income ETF, BTCI, generally offers tax-efficient, high monthly income with a significant portion of distributions, often covering 85-90%, classified as a return of capital, okay? A return of capital. And if we go look at a return of capital is a profitability ratio measuring how efficiently a company generates profits. They're going into the business, but essentially, let's go back to here. It's taking your cost basis down. This structure allows for tax deferral as return on capital reduces an investor's cost basis rather than immediately taxed at income, potentially allowing for long-term capital gains treatment upon sale. So you can reduce your capital, your cost basis down to zero, essentially. So then you have another part of it here is return of capital. That's the first part. Then you have Section 1256 contracts. The fund uses derivatives, which are options, that the IRS classifies as Section 1256 contracts. This can result in a 60-40 blended capital gains on certain gains. So 60% long-term, which is about 15% that you get when you receive a dividend, which is better than probably you getting taxed as income, and 40% short term, which is about 21%. And that's what I love. That's what I love about this. Tax efficiency, you get monthly income, and you got exposure to Bitcoin in your portfolio. And not in a way where you have to deal with Coinbase. I don't really like dealing with Coinbase. This is clear when you're using a brokerage account. Now, if we go look at BTCI on TradingView, I have it pulled up here. This is the weekly chart. So the fund inception is in October of 2024. So it's relatively new as well. When Bitcoin was rising up, it was rising up. Bitcoin pulled back, it pulled back. Bitcoin, if we go compare it, Bitcoin has been pulling back since October of 2025, so for several months. And then if you go look at BTCI again, it also has been pulling back since October. So it is relatively following Bitcoin in a smooth fashion. Now, what I like is if you're buying around these bases, like especially this base here at the bottom, you are leaving yourself a potential for a lot of upside as Bitcoin goes back to its all-time high. And what does that also mean? You'll be receiving dividends the whole time as well. And that's the power of passive income investing. Upside potential plus dividends. So if you go look at the last few payouts, 76 cents per share. These shares right now are worth $34.51. So every single month, the one before that, so you got February paid 76 cents, January $1.04, December 99 cents, November $1.01, October $1.30, $1.34 in September, dollar. So you can see as the price goes up, the dividend goes up. So if we go look at it just to get back to reasonable levels, October, that's an 84% gain to get back into October. How's that possible? Is if Bitcoin, the underlying asset, also goes back up 72%. So it's basically Bitcoin enhanced, or Bitcoin on steroids, or Bitcoin that you're staking and you're receiving income from. Does that make sense? So if Bitcoin rises back up to the levels of 125,000, which is an all-time high, the NEOS BTCI ETF will also rise back up to its all-time highs, which is up to $64. Okay. So that's the banger that I have for y'all today. Leave a comment in chat if you like this idea, if you like this strategy. So to wrap this up a little bit and to sum this up, it's a situation where you're getting exposure to crypto, Bitcoin, the best cryptocurrency in the space, the one that the institutions want, the one that is flooded in ETFs, the best crypto. But you get to earn a yield on it, passive income. And then you pair that with the other strategies I've been showing you, Hedera ecosystem, yield farming, Algorand ecosystem, yield farming, okay? Farming in Solana, farming in Ethereum, whatever ecosystem that you like the most. I wanted to put this one on your radar because, again, as I showed you here, let me go back to the Bitcoin chart. I firmly believe we're at a bottom or we're close, okay? And on my chart, I obviously have this green box here because if we do go lower, this is the bottom that I have identified around 55,000. That's at the top of this box, somewhere in this range. So in my opinion, dollar cost averaging here, which is like Bitcoin going down another 20%, would not be a surprise. But I see this as an opportunity. And this year has been a level of support in July of 2024. It's been a resistance in March of 2022, right? This is a key pivotal level in this range right here. That's why I have this box. So if we go down further, I'm okay with that. If we don't, right? This was the all-time high, the blue line I have here, at about 74,000 in March of 2024. And then we almost got there in 2021. So you got one level here, 74,000, which we're roughly sitting at 73, or you have the 50,000 range. And that is, either scenario is not out the norm for Bitcoin. It's not out the norm. And once Bitcoin moves, all the other cryptos follow. So if you're building your position with Aerodrome or Ethereum and USDC, Bitcoin starts to rise back up, you're in a great position to earn passive income and capital appreciation on your holdings. Same with your Algorand positions, same with your Hedera position. And if it does go down another 10, 15, 20%, you're in another position where you can dollar cost average and build out a stronger, more powerful position, and then have the ability or the potential when Bitcoin finally does turn around, if it goes from let's say the 55,000, right, to go back to all-time high, you're now at 125%. If it's from this 74,000 to go back to all-time high, you at 71%. So that's a big range and opportunity that I'm spotting right now. Y'all let me know what you think about that. My thesis of 55,000, or we just go up from here. I don't think lower than that, though. That's based on these levels that I marked out. But it's looking good, y'all. It's looking good. So I wanted to put NEOS on your radar. If y'all have any questions, definitely leave me a comment. But that is what I'm doing. It's not financial advice. This is research that I want to put on your radar. You're watching this channel because you like passive income, you like crypto, you like getting money with these digital assets. So that's what I have for y'all. Again, I appreciate you for tapping in. I'm C. Will with the Passive Income. Y'all have a blessed rest of your weekend, even stronger next week. Until the next time, y'all.
Passive income, gold in my dental, thank God for my mental. Investor fundamentals, told my girl it was simple.